Moving on, the ADCC happened a few weeks back.
Yep.
And Lachlan Giles submitted 3 heavyweights in the absolute.
Go the Aussies.
With a signature 50-50 heel hook from Danaher entry.
Yep.
And got the bronze. Talk about how the importance of training leg locks, or at least defending them, has grown in the recent times, and how it has changed the way people train for sub only or these kind of grappling tournaments.
So, like I said right before, it's important to have your finger on the pulse, right, in the relative community that you're in. So, training leg locks, it's important, you know. If you're going to compete, definitely. I still study, you know. I still study. I still try to learn. Experiment. So I definitely encourage people to train leg locks. The thing is that I make sure what people have to understand is that I say this jokingly, but with a dose of seriousness and reality, is that I can go to work with both my legs and my arms in a sling. Little hard for me to go to work when I have my leg in a crutch, right? My leg bandaged up and I'm walking on crutches. So I do encourage learning leg locks, but I also encourage learning your fundamentals, because sometimes learning leg locks, you can bypass a lot of the foundation that you have to learn in jiu-jitsu. So, and also you look at Lachlan Giles, right? He wasn't an overnight success. He wasn't a white belt that just learned a few leg locks and said, you know what, I want to take my chances and jump into ADCC, you know. So he was already a decorated black belt, you know, and he put his time into the mat. So I'd have to say, if you're a beginner in jiu-jitsu, learning jiu-jitsu, please don't neglect your foundations, and also understand the difference between, and also practice the difference between learning jiu-jitsu for self-defense, for sport, which is gi and no gi, and also in MMA, right? You have to take that into account if you want a balanced perspective. And the other thing is that in my gym, we, especially with the leg locks and especially with beginners, we focus a lot on defense in the beginning. And it might seem a little tasteless or not as tasty or exciting, but it's important because at the end of the day you need your legs, right? But we do the method of catch, hold, control, and release, right? If you're able to catch, then the next step is for you to see if you can hold it. And if you can't hold it, try to control the situation, like a knee bar, learning how to roll out of a knee bar, but also learning how to hold the knee bar as you roll. And then catch, hold, control. And if you can control it over a certain period of time, that means you can apply it slowly. That means both parties can enjoy the whole process safely, right? So like heel hooks. Heel hooks are dangerous, right? They are a very effective move that can debilitate someone very quick. That's what got me out of jiu-jitsu as a purple belt, right? Not training with someone that had safety in mind, and I got seriously injured, and then I had to have knee surgery, and it kept me off the mat, you know. And one thing in my gym, I always drill this, even with my kids. I said, jiu-jitsu starts with respect, ends with respect, and the most important person on the mat is your training partner. And if everyone takes that collective approach, you're gonna have a good, productive, safe, educational experience on the mat. And of course, what happens? You wanna keep coming back and training because you can, and because you want to, which is definitely a huge motivating factor in your process in learning and training in jiu-jitsu. So yeah, don't ever limit your views.
It was interesting, this ADCC, because that match, most of the guards, the fancy guards that we see in gi and maybe probably no gi as well, people have started to focus, even during the trials, on more leg locks, especially purple and the upcoming belts, once you get your fundamentals down.
Right.
Yeah. And for the sports situation, leg locks is becoming the go-to move because it works based regardless of the weight of the person once you grab legs. So what is your opinion on people trying to learn leg locks or focus on leg locks, especially at an intermediate level, and maybe probably at an advanced level, even after getting their black belts?
For sure. I think you should be educated even as a white belt, but focus more on defense. But on an intermediate level and on an advanced level, of course, right? Don't close yourself off. You know what I mean? Don't look at leg lock and go, oh, that's cheating. That used to be an old attitude in Brazil, you know? And people that used to like going for leg locks, they used to have the nickname bicho de pé, right? So or another one was ringworm. What was it? Like the equivalent of being called someone like athlete's foot. There, because you just go for leg locks. It used to be considered cheating, which I suppose you can, because you can shortcut, you know, to a submission quick. But the problem, yeah, there's no passing the guard. But now the problem is that let's say you're really good at leg locks and you're able to bang on a leg lock. That might work for you in your level, but the moment you get someone who's more advanced and much more capable in other aspects of jiu-jitsu, passing the guard, taking you down, you know, and you don't want to become a one-trick pony. You want to be balanced, you know what I mean? So I think by the time you're in intermediate and advanced, you should be looking at leg locks, right? Advice is that don't try to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Use a few leg locks to help make that your foundation, so then you can branch out from a strong foundation, you know what I mean? And the leg lock that I like to teach in the academy, that I think that it's a good beginner technique to learn, is the straight Achilles from single leg X, right? Because from there, I have a brown belt that was so engrossed in attacking your feet. He's balanced in other areas, but he used to train, and I actually took a footnote off him, was that he used to train, that he used to say that if I can catch and finish you with one arm in my single leg X, going for the straight Achilles, he goes, I'll feel confident in progressing on attacking your legs with other leg locks. And I just thought that was a real good point. And then I remember even in one roll, you know, we were rolling and he caught me. It wasn't with a straight ankle lock, it was a inside heel hook, which is a very, very strong technique to use. And yeah, it was the next few rolls were very interesting after that. But no, see, and that goes back into the whole process of learning how to catch, learning how to hold, learning how to control, and then learning how to release, right? Once you can catch, hold, and control, right? Apply it slowly, then release. You've already made your point to your partner, and you've already made your point to yourself. You know what I mean? And yeah, when he said that to me, he was, hey, you know, coach, I just want to get really, if I can just hold him so well in one arm, just imagine what I can do with two. And that was a fair point, you know what I mean? And yeah, pretty much to say, I don't even let him touch my toes anymore.